Hello everybody, welcome. This is the chassis for a Philco 38.5B. I started this last week. I wasn't going to do a video on it, but I figured I might as well, even though I'm sort of in the middle of it. Where I'm at on this is I've already stripped the cabinet. I've patched the missing pieces. I'll show you the cabinet in a minute. And I've gone through and recapped part of this and replaced a few resistors. This was already working. It had been repaired a few times over the years. I'm restuffing the cans. I have not gotten to this one yet. This one had been disconnected, but at some point it was used as an anchor point for the replacement electrolytic, and I do need to go in there and replace that one because I noticed it was bulging. It's a fairly modern one, so a few of the caps that were in there were off. Not too far off as far as values go, but I did have the correct ones, and the voltages on the ones that were replaced in there were rather low. They were replaced with ones that had, well, for example, this .082 is rated at 100 volts. And although the power supply in this doesn't put out that much voltage, still the area that this was in runs at about 95 volts, so I just did not see, plus it's the wrong value, it should be .05. I just didn't see a point in leaving it in there, so I just replaced it with the ones that I've got. Let's see, this is another one. This one was actually .47 at 400 volts. That was okay because the maximum voltage this thing runs is under 250, so the dial on it is not all that great. It looks like somebody had tried to clean it over the years. It's been cracked and glued, and even the glue's cracked. Good example of seeing what color these used to be is this is the part that was hidden underneath the clip, so you can see how dark these things get over the years. And the reproductions are all dark, much darker than this color here. Maybe it's me. I would rather see them this color, or at least have the choice, but nobody agrees with me. I've already talked to a lot of people. They all like the darker color, which I don't. So I talked to Mark Oppett. He does not have this dial. He's got some dials left because he can't find smaller amounts of the phenolic here, but never seems to have the ones that I want. So I ordered it from Radio Days. I'm not sure when it'll be here. I ordered it last week. I also ordered the feet because it's got petrified corner feet, same kind that the 41315 used. This had been repainted by the previous owner, and they painted right over the rust, but because it's got the rectifier on top, I don't want to deal with it. It's painted. It should be stripped, but it'll be okay. It was scrubbed down at some point, and the bulk of the rust was removed, but it's rusting again. So this is all about to come off, and that's when I said, well, maybe I should do a video. If nothing else, I'll have the video in case I forget how this goes back together. Although I did take pictures. I'm going to go ahead and replace the wire for the dial lamp. This does have a shadow meter, which does work, and it's in good condition. It does need to be focused. It got a little bent at some point, and the shadow meter was off. So there's that. Restuffed can, so I'm going to go ahead and pull this off. I'm not sure, this is going to have to come off, but I'm not sure if this will fit in my ultrasonic cleaner, so I guess we'll find out. First time I've had a radio where I can remove the mica, which I'm going to do, so I have the piece of paper here somewhere. I'm going to count the number of turns, because these are the adjustments. I'm going to count the number of turns these come off, so I don't have too much to, I'm not too far off when I go to align it. And yeah, we're going to go from there. So I will be back and I'll show you the cabinet. Okay, here's the cabinet. It's so big it barely fits in the frame. Let's see if I can move this back a little more. Alright, so it's going to need some filler. I went ahead and stripped it. Again, like I said, it needs some filler. It's in okay condition. It's got a few pock marks and a burn mark here. Piece missing here. So I got to scrub a little more. Anyhow, so on the front here, there was a piece that needed to be replaced, and of course the piece that went in there is a little bit darker. I need a little practice with that. I did pretty well on this part here. You can barely tell. This piece up here was about as close as I could get it. I don't know if you can see that one. And let's see, that's just a crack. Little piece missing here, which will just, it's part of its history, I guess. This piece had popped out here and here. I've got it in there and I've got it sanded kind of smooth. So I'm definitely going to need to use grain filler. I'm kind of interested to see how dark this is going to get. I don't know if you can see the patterns in here. I really like the patterns on this one, so I'm hoping they look really good when I'm done. So that's kind of where I am here on this cabinet. Other than that, it's in pretty decent shape. I've still got some stuff to clean out in here. So yeah, this is kind of a, generally all the examples I've seen of this, it's pretty boring looking radio. It's all kind of one color. I suppose I should keep it that way. I kind of had this grand idea that maybe I would make it dark on the sides and then lighter in the middle, but then you kind of have that thing in your head about, should I change it? Should I leave it? If it was boring out of the factory, should it be boring again, etc., etc. And then there's the whole "it's my radio, I'll do what I want" thing. But anyway, so as far as this darkened piece here, I was thinking I might trace this out and then come over on this side with one of these pens. Oops, that's a flux pen. Definitely wouldn't do it with the flux pen. Well, I guess it might take one of these little Mohawk pens that I usually use for the around the edges to darken instead of trying to deal with taping it off. May come in here with this and make it at least look the same on this side. We'll see. I haven't decided yet. But it's definitely worth an idea. I guess I have 3 of these. Perfect brown. Alright, so now I can't get this stuff back in there. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get back to the chassis. Removing that tuning condenser and see if we can get that in the ultrasonic cleaner. Hello. While I have the tuning condenser soaking, thought I would take apart the Vernier dial. I went ahead and I think somebody was inside here because it had it was packed full of grease, and it wasn't I don't know if it was new grease or not. It was not dried out. But there was a lot of it, and it was really thick. So, unlike the 610 I did, this one does not have the 3 extra balls in the bottom. It's got a wider pin that I can tell. If it does, they will not come out of there. Doesn't look like there is any. Anyhow, so I've got it all cleaned out, and doesn't look like whomever really did any cleaning because there was a lot of grit in there. As you can see, it was pretty gross. So I'm going to go ahead, I guess, and put it back together. I went ahead and cleaned the condenser in the ultrasonic cleaner, and I'm going to go ahead now and show you pictures of before and after. I've done it before, but it's just so gross. But now I have it actually soaking. I put it in the oven at 150 degrees for about an hour, so I get it all dried out. I was having whoever put the grease in here put a lot, packed it full in the bearings on the condenser as well. I had a bit of a trouble picking that stuff out. Even the ultrasonic cleaner didn't get it out, which it usually actually does. But so I have it soaking now in evaporust, and it's doing its job. So anyway, let me show you the pictures of that. So the first picture is going to be clean, the next is dirty water, and the next one's going to show you all the grit that's in the bottom that came off that condenser. It's really gross. Alright, so that was pretty nasty. So I'm going to go ahead and pack this with some grease. And I don't know if I put... I have got to clean up around here. I'm starting to lose stuff right under my nose. So I'm going to put some white lithium grease. Oh, there it is. Down inside there. Let's see if we get this thing back together. Wow, I'm using a lot more of this than I ever thought I would. Alright, so let's get some of this in here. Oh, you know what? I was going to get some steel wool and I was just going to smooth this out. And if you can see this shaft, it's, I don't know if it was machined that way, but it's pretty, it's not all nice and smooth like the 610 was, so I don't know. Anyway, I was going to clean that off, so I'll do that. And then we'll put some grease in there. I don't know what I did with my imitation steel wool. Let's find it. Be helpful if I grab the right one. Alright, piece, so let's see. I don't know. This really isn't that rough, but I just figured I'd give it a... See if I can smooth that out a little bit. I said there really aren't any burrs on it. It's just, I don't know. I got such good action out of that 610. I still kind of marvel at it how it almost, when you, if you spin it with enough force, it almost keeps going like it's counterbalanced. So, and this one was a little tough to turn. We'll see. Alright, well, let's... Said there's no way I'm gonna grind all those bits off of there. I mean, see if you can see it better now. See, it's just... I don't know. Looks like it might have been machined that way. Maybe it's on purpose. So, one of these was clean. Alright. Right, I hope I'm in the frame here. It'd be helpful if I didn't put this in my eye. Alright. Let's see now. Did I get any down in there? Yep, I missed. Maybe if I was smarter, put a little on the end of this thing. Now I gotta get that spring in there. Alright, I don't think I need that much grease. Just a little bit. Okay, good, it's in there. So next, let's get that spring in there. So much for me thinking that was such a smart idea. Come on. Alright. Okay, spring is in. Be careful, I'm getting grit on me. Probably should have swapped that out. Okay. Everything looks like it's where it should be. Alright. So if you guys remember, these ball bearings don't fall over. This one is a little bit easier to work with than... I lied. Okay. I think when I get this in there... Oops. Okay, so I got it past. See if I remember how to do this. Obviously not. I think I liked it better when the grease was holding this in. Don't fall over. No, you're gonna fall over. Okay. So there's a trick to doing this where the whole thing goes together really quick. Let's see if I can remember how to do it. No. Oh, no, it doesn't want to come out. Maybe I'm doing this wrong. Okay, I'm not sure how exactly I did it, but it worked. Maybe you guys saw it. It still works a little. It's not as smooth as I want it. But I don't know. It moves easy. But alright, so I'm going to mark that as done. So, this goes back together like so. C-clamp goes in like so. This doesn't have the same kind of C-clamp that the one for the 610 did. It's got the same kind of clamp that the tuning shaft does on the string radios. That's right. Okay. Alrighty. Well, that's back together and greased and cleaned. So, I'm going to go grab the tuning condenser and let you guys see that. Well, there's a lot of rust still on that tuning condenser, so I'm going to leave it overnight. So I'll go ahead and end this video for now. I've been playing with this for a couple more minutes, and as I have been spinning it around, I guess it's been distributing the grease more evenly, so it's a lot smoother than it was. So anyway, that's done. So thanks for watching, and I'll make another video tomorrow once the tuning condenser is rust free. Thanks for watching.